I'll get a vision. I'll get a vision.
You saw the delete button.
It's it's like it's crazy to explain because my wife was asking me this question. She said, "What do you see? Like, how do I not know it's not like some kind of spirit possessing you?" I said, "Well, I get scared thinking it's a spirit, but I don't hear voices unless it's a number or a specific. If I'm channeling a certain date or something, I will hear. I will just know this. I'll have a feeling of a knowing, and or I will see. It's I will see like random stuff. Like imagine when I was doing it for a random woman that came on my live and I kept seeing a teapot and I'm like, what the fuck is a teapot in my vision for? But she knew what the teapot was. And like
You said something to me. You said your twin's not going to post for the next couple of months, and my twin so far has not posted for over a month. You know, and so I kind of see that there's credibility in your visions and what you notice. But yeah, so people are sending you stuff, and whilst they send you, shall I read out some questions?
Yeah, go on. So I've picked 3 people only: Ms. Kite, Bohemian Goddess, and Monique. If you can just click the link in my bio, it will take you to my Instagram page. If you can send me the picture of who you want me to channel, whether it's yourself or your DM or your counterpart, just let me know, and then I will see what I can pick up. But it's very difficult. I mean, I can channel without seeing a vision, but I can just go into your profile and see your picture. But it just helps me a lot because, and I'm only going to do 5 minutes for each person because it can get tiring and draining.
So the first question is, are you both on the twin flame journey? Yes, we are. That's why we obviously create the content. Yaya said that he started to create the content because he got to a certain level where he felt like he needed to share with others. I've mentioned before what I did my content, and it wasn't because of what he's the reason why he's doing his one. So I had a few reasons actually. The first reason was I had a lot of information in my head that I was getting as downloads or reading, and I wanted to get it off my chest. But the second, which is one of the most important reasons I think why I did it, is because I wanted my twin flame to get digestible 1-minute clips of what the journey is about, because completely in the dark and lost and confused, like really distorted divine masculine I had. So therefore I wanted to like have, I know he's spy, so as an educational tool. And then thirdly, I thought other people could benefit and gain from it too, because I had been to loads of coaches and bought loads of courses, some of these fake twin flame people out there. And I had been, duped, when people take advantage of you, that thing. Yeah, and the people had done a lot of stuff to me that was wrong, so I wanted to kind of like put the record straight in a way. So that's why I started to do interject whenever you've got your download, but I'm just spending time to let you have that time to do your download. It says, I believe all of us in the collective are going through the journey at the same time. Well, we have different waves, right? And you also have to understand that in each wave, you have a wave that's right at the top. And these are people who go through things before. Like I always get like stuff happen to me a week or two before my collective. So therefore, I'm able to help them. It happens to me first, or the eclipses and whatever else. But also you have to realize some people don't do their work, okay? So when you don't do your work, you don't progress, you get blasted, or you stagnate. So we're not all on the same place, and we're not all on the same, unfortunately, Some of us are far ahead because we're working our asses off to do the inner work, and some of us are doing nothing at all. So, yeah.
Just to add on to that, so yes, we are very similar, and I'm glad you said that as well, because I go through it like maybe 3 months before my collective. And because I have to, it's literally why we're called the maze runners. And that's why we become content creators. We don't become content creators because we want money, or we genuinely want to help people. That's why like mine is not the focus of money. Mine is more about so you don't go through that pain. And there are some people who are in masculine energy, come into feminine energy. They don't do the work, and then they become entitled and all this. And then I'll be honest, these are the people I say, well, go back and find someone within your own vibration. And these people then start following people who are high in ego, and they actually sabotage their own healing. So you end up following, we always attract what we are. So I won't align with people who are way, way too high in their ego, because I'll be like, nah, you're not for me, go to someone else. And they will go to people who are high in their egos. And these people are like, oh, I see this and I see that. Oh, it's all romance. It's not a walk in the park. We have to be realistic.
And like you said, we're not in it for the money, right? But there's a lot of companies in there only for the money. And there's a lot of companies that are not twin flames and they just want to keep you in the loopity loop. And they do that through the carols, they do that through the fake, information about it's all romance and this and that. And when you're in your push energy, when you're in your chasing energy, when you're in your addictive fear energy, they take advantage of you. And I know that because I've been taken advantage of by loads of people. People have said to me, psychics and stuff have said, oh, pay us God knows how many hundreds or thousands of pounds and we'll get rid of the toxicity from your twin flame, or buy this course and do that. And I have fallen for it. And that's why we work to dispel all this crap, because it's just fear. And when you're in your fear, you're going to be all over the place and crazy. And I was there, I'm sure Yaya was there. But you get to a stage where you can actually function as a human being and see the charlatans and the abuse that goes on with this journey so bad. Yeah, carry on.
Okay, I hate to stop you here, but out of the three people, Miss Kai, Bohemian, Goddess, and Monique, one of you have a severe headache right now. You're not drinking enough water. So if you have it, just let me know who's got the headache out of the three of you. One person needs to be in their feminine energy because my left leg has started hurting. And I'm going to start with Ms. Kai because I've already got your picture. So thank you for sending it through. So out of the three people I've mentioned, who's got a headache right now? It'll be interesting to see. Someone's got a headache. Because this has literally come out of nowhere. This is when it all start let's start doing this, shit. Is it me? Shall I say it? One of you three, it's not a bad thing because I'll be honest, when I'm channeling for people, sometimes I have to transmute. I feel it is you, Miss Kai. So it's Miss Kai, Bohemian Goddess, and Monique. Out of one of the three of you, you have headaches and you're not drinking enough water. Miss Kai, okay, I've got your picture come through already, so I'm going to start with you. Immediately, you're stuck in your masculine energy, okay? You're very stuck in your masculine energy. Your divine counterpart is in his feminine energy. So that's telling me that there's no room for him to come into his masculine energy. So you're basically holding him back. And I'm going to give you an example, like a vision. You're sitting in a kingdom, you're sitting in a king's throne. Your king has come back from war and he's seen that you're sitting in his throne. He can't sit down because you're in his throne. So what that's telling me is you need to come out of your masculine energy, which is why my left leg is hurting right now. It's telling me that your left side is feminine. It's telling me you need to come into your feminine energy a bit more. What's interesting is Ty's going to hate me, but when I saw you immediately, I saw one of my followers, Ty, who is, because your energy is very strong as a masculine, but Ty is also, sometimes she's very good in her masculine energy, and when we bring her down to feminine, she's actually a very nice person. I mean, she's nice in her masculine energy, so don't get me wrong. Sorry, Ty, I didn't mean it like that. But already, Miss Kai, you're masculine. Is he a Scorpio by any chance? Is he a Scorpio? Who's a Scorpio between the two of you? Okay, this headache's quite bad.
I'm a Scorpio, by the way.
Yeah. You're a Cancer, he's a Leo. So that's what I'm picking up. So that's telling me that you're forcing yourself out of your water sign. Water signs are quite... Cancer people are most emotional out of the water signs. And you put this brave armor on that I can't be emotional because I don't want to show weakness. Okay, so you've got this solid, I've got it, Bohemia. You've got this solid armor on that you're refusing to take off because you don't want to go through pain. So you need to release. You literally need to release. Like I can feel it. Your tense is there. And that's telling me that if you don't come into your feminine energy, the only person that falls is you. I'm only choosing 3 people, so I'm not taking more pictures. Energy, it takes a lot to work through. Okay, feminine energy is just like, oh, hey, I'm going to go for a walk in the park. It's like, for example, if you go to the gym and you're focusing on like weightlifting, and that's a very masculine task. And this is going to be a bit gender specific here, where men go to the gym and they push these weights and stuff like that. and they feel they need to be a protector, so they want to go in and come out looking like a masculine man. But when a woman does that, she does it because she's trying to get to a point of like, no one's going to come. I don't need a man because I can be the man. So what you do is you replace certain tasks, and that could be whether you're dancing. So I'll be honest, Miss Kel, what I'm seeing an image of you is dancing. So if you like dancing, you need to slow down your dancing, because sometimes when we do it fast, that's a masculine thing. So to bring you more back into your feminine thing is replacing the stuff you do. So if you go into the gym, do cardio rather than weights. Or if you're doing like certain fitness classes, replace that with Zumba, because that puts you more into your feminine energy. It could be like, I don't know, becoming Bob the Builder and jumping on the roof to repair a leak because you feel, I don't need a man, I need to repair this leak. That puts you in a masculine energy. Sometimes it's okay to say, I'm not made for this, you know. So I feel for you, Miss Kai, is that you need to work on your feminine energy. And I'm seeing you a glass of red wine. I don't know if you like glass. I don't know if you like red wine, but I'm seeing you literally slow jamming, holding this glass of wine and just literally doing this, and that will bring you into your feminine energy. Because I'll be honest, your masculine is in a very, very deep feminine energy.
And you know what? Often in the beginning, the masculines are in their feminine and the feminines are in their masculine, but distorted, right? And I had a realization yesterday in the shower. You know what? All my life, I've wanted to be protected. And sometimes we get so much in our masculine, like, I don't need anyone. But actually, you know, as divine feminines, we do want someone to like take care and like make sure that our back's covered. Like, we don't always have to. We want to cover our own backs, you know. So be okay.
Yeah. Do you know what's interesting as well? Not many people know this. When you're in the bedroom, the practices you do in the bedroom actually to say a lot about your energies as well. Like some men like to become very affectionate and they become feminine, and the woman takes lead and she's like on top and she's literally like wanting to punch. I have to be careful what I say here, but she takes the masculine lead in the bedroom, and then the roles are reversed, and then the men are like, oh, I just want to be loved like right now and stuff like that, and that kind of, it determines a lot. Like some people like dominance, some women like the dominance because they want to be treated that way. So focus on what you are like in the bedroom.
And with men in the bedroom, if they're aligned, they will take their natural position. So my twin definitely took more of the masculine role in dominance and energy wise, which is unusual for me because I don't normally let anyone, you know, say, yeah, but that's how it is.
Right. So, Miss Kate, I hope that's helped you. Next person I've got is Bohemian Goddess, Courtney. You're in a very beautiful feminine energy, very caring, compassionate energy. You're in a very, very loving energy. I think you get upset very quick. It's like, I want this and it's not going your way, but you don't go around screaming for it. You will cry it, and which can technically take you into victim mindset, but I don't think you're in a victim mindset. I feel you're at a place of peaceful feminine energy. Now, my advice to you is sometimes we can be in feminine, but we need to understand the masculine energy and how to balance it so we can be in the correct energy. Because when I'm talking with people, I'm in a very balanced energy. And depending on how the interaction's going, if someone brings out their masculine energy, my masculine, I call myself an emperor when it gets there. So I'm like, you're a king, I'm an emperor. I will shut you down one time. But that shows that you can't, I will always bring people back down to my level. And that's not from a place of ego that says, now you're on my level, let's talk. But if you're going to be higher than me or put yourself on a pedestal, I will think, but if you're in a deep feminine, I won't be in a masculine or feminine energy. I'll be in a neutral energy. And what I do is I bring up the feminine energy in you to be a bit more stronger and understand things. So I think for you, Courtney, it's more like you're very in your feminine energy, but you're also in a blissful energy. And it's a good place to be. And I feel like you've got new beginnings coming for you. I don't know why I'm seeing you like there's a bush of flowers and you're basically, I don't know how to kind of describe it. You've got your hand out like this and you're just gliding through these bushes of flowers, and it's just like you're in a blissful energy. I don't know if this is making sense for you.
Yeah. Do you feel like we have to be in both masculine and feminine balanced energy, or?
naturally you should be in a balanced energy on a day-to-day basis. You don't have to be in feminine energy, because sometimes feminine energy can be a victim mindset, could be a wounded feminine. When you're in a balanced one, you don't need to be. It depends with the situation. So if I'm talking to someone, you will know how to deal with it. Like when I'm talking to someone and they become, I'm not going to mention names here because the person's listening in the background, I have 3 different names for this person. So when that person brings up a masculine energy, I will call them something else. And when they're in a bit of coming towards feminine, I will call them a different name. And then when they're in feminine energy, I will call them their real name. And that's when this person starts laughing with me and saying, "No." So what I do is I teach them to balance that energy. It's not, there's no one answer for all how to balance that energy. It happens naturally, but it's when you let go. Because Courtney, I'm not picking up your thing. When I was channeling from Miss Kai, I could feel her tension. It's like, no, I'm holding on to it deep. With you, I'm very light. So this tells me that you're very light, and I do see new beginnings, because you're in this garden, and gardens represent peace, and I can feel the breeze for you. So the breeze is showing that you're in a blissful place. If you want me to channel for your DM, I can do that, because you've only sent me a picture of yourself. The world can do one. Lisa, that's literally how I was yesterday. Surrendering as well, Miss Kate. Surrendering takes a very long time. People think I'm going to say, "Oh, I've surrendered and detached." It can take 6 months to 1 year to surrender and detach. It's not that straightforward, because you constantly get tested on surrender and detachment. It takes a very long time. So, Courtney, I hope that helps you, because you haven't sent me any more pictures.
Yeah. Would you say my energy was feminine or masculine or more balanced?
Right now, you're in a balance energy. You're in a balance energy. Courtney, I'm not really picking up anything for your thing, because I would see visions of, even if you don't send me a picture, I normally see visions. I don't see anything. I feel intuitively with your DM is that he's a bit high up, and he's basically coming down this very slow slide. I can see the slide. It's coming down very slow. And that's saying that when you're getting to a place of bliss, some DMs follow you 6 months behind. So I feel he's just coming onto this slide where he's coming down, and he will naturally come down by himself. But I'm not picking anything up more than that. But I feel for you, there's a new career coming, a new change in career. And that's what normally happens, because my soul tribe, they have now come to the career forefront. So everything's coming back, restarting. Miss Kai, I can't tell you enough. You need to drink water. Your headache is still with me. You need to drink a lot of water.
Is that something that's collective? Because I've had a few headaches this week and I've been popping pills. Shall we answer some more questions?
One more is Monique. That's the last one. So should we do that one? Monique, you're working on your store. Okay, it makes sense. Monique, have you got a picture of your DM? Monique, you need to stop forcing a smile out of you. If you're okay, if you're feeling sad, just feel sad. But don't force happiness out. Happiness comes naturally. So you don't need to wear a mask on. It's way back in your photos. Okay. I don't want to show the pictures on the screen, so I'm just scrolling through your profile to see if I can see it.
Yeah. Have you always had this here?
I did. I've never tapped into it as much, because I always, one of the things that I've learned on my journey is that people will support you, and they'll say, "Oh, this is a good thing." And then the minute you start showing that you're good at something, people are quick to shut you down. "Oh, why do you have that and I don't?" So for me, I've never really tapped onto it. I mean, my brother just came on my live a little while ago. I don't know if he's watching, but he'll be looking at me thinking, "What the hell is this? Like, what the hell are you doing, bro?" And then he'll come to me and he'll make a negative comment to me about it, and I'll be like, "Well, just because you ain't got it," and then he'll put me down. And that's naturally with friends and that as well. So I've always been shut down by people that I've not been able to exceed at my own gifts and my abilities. So I will see as okay. But now when I'm doing it more on a daily basis, or when I'm on my lives and I'm doing it for people and I'm seeing that it's helping people, I don't care what other people say, because if I pick something up for you and it helps you in that moment, I don't care what 10 people are saying to me. If that one conversation with you has helped you, that's all that matters to me. So these 10 people can literally go screw themselves, and I don't care who they are. If it's helping one person, I don't care about the rest. Monique, I'm not sure, because you got loads of posts in here. I'm not sure which one is it the guy with the beard with 2 kids in his hand? No, that's not. It's not that. Okay, she sent me it now. Okay, you both are wearing masks, by the way. You both are wearing masks. There's a lot of fear, Monique. I don't know if you can hear me, because I know you're typing something to me right now on Instagram. Let's see if she's back. Monique, are you back? Just let me know when you're back. Okay, you both are wearing masks. Okay, you both are wearing masks. You both are tired. So when you take your mask off, it's literally like, it's so crazy. I just saw this vision of both of you standing next to each other. You've taken your mask and you just jump back into the bed. Not into bed meaning in a spicy way. You just literally sat down and said, you know what, fuck, this feels free. So you both need to take this mask off, because you're holding on to masks that are not serving you. And I guess when you do that as a divine feminine, when you do that, he will naturally follow, because the feminine 3 months or 6 months are ahead. And I feel because his energy is nice, but he's got a lot of pain as well, but you have that pain in you as well. He's trying to put this devilish energy, but it doesn't work. He doesn't succeed with it. Then that's the ego mind. I don't feel he's like that. He doesn't have toxic traits. And if he does have toxic traits, it's out of fear and it's out of pain. He doesn't mean or intend to do it. Like, I've seen some people who are in really bad devil energy who will go out their way to harm people. But this guy, he would only do it as a sense of protection. But I feel with you, you're the leader in this, and you need to remove that mask from yourself, because it's like I'm crying on the inside, but you won't even see my tears rolling from that mask. Just accept that. Do you know what? I'm in pain. I'm defeated. And these are challenges.
What about expressing it? Because I sometimes I feel like I use my TikTok to express my pain. Like, I've made videos where, like,
I think yes and no. It can help, because some people will try challenging you, because some people, like, they tap into my energy, and I'm like, I don't give you permission to do that. And when they do that, they're like, no, this is what you're feeling, and this is where the spiritual ego comes from with people. So sometimes it's like, no, I know more than you. So sometimes when we express it, some people take it good, some people take it as negative, and some people leech off that as well. Like, that's why I say to people, when there's progress on your twin flame journey, be very careful with who you share it with, because when you share it from people, I've seen people, and Manny, I'm sure you've seen on that post with Haley on your YouTube channel, where someone will say, I refuse to believe she's a twin flame. I know who that person is, right? Intuitively, I already know who that person is. And this person, I've tapped into her energy before, and the reason why she's saying that, it comes from a place of bitterness. Oh, I've been on this journey longer than you. I've done more healing than you.
How come it's happened faster?
How come it's happening for you and not for me? And do you know my clients, when they tell me that, some people are like, oh yeah, I didn't tell you because I know you're waiting for communication. I was like, do you understand how happy it makes me that when people tell me, oh, I've received communication? Because
it's wonderful. Or when they get into union, I love it.
It gives me hope. It gives me hope. It gives other people hope. And some people...
Sometimes, does it make you think, like, because I've had quite a few people get into union, and then they phone me from across I get their number, I was like, I'm going to congratulate you. I speak to them face to face. But then I'm like, where's my union?
This is the thing. But also, Manny, what it does, it gives us this positive outcome that, wait, hang on, if it's happened to them, why wouldn't it happen to us? And even when I look at it from a religious perspective, obviously, my connection a bit more than others. And I'm like, I just can't wait to say to people at the end of the day that if it can happen for me, I'm a Muslim, and if this can happen to me because I'm a Muslim and my connection is not accepted, then why would it not happen for someone else? So...
But I think sometimes we are like the ones who have to help others before ours happens.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Of course.
Like, my psychic said to me, she said, if your twin flame hadn't been as horrendous as he has been and pushed you, and you hadn't had all the intense stuff happen to you from the beginning, you wouldn't have created the content.
100%. And if our twins were in our life right now, do you think either of us would be on content creating? We wouldn't.
We're holidaying in Bali.
Exactly. So, Monique, my advice to you before I shut this off is, and by the way, the people do send me, it's not black magic, by the way. Um, that's a really funny thing because that's a very toxic comment when people say it's black magic. Because
So interesting. Like since I started doing my
I'm gonna come to that, but let me just close off with Monique. Monique, just be okay. Accept your emotions for what it literally it is. What it is, and moving forward from that is saying, right, okay, I'm all right. I've suffered a lot. I've been through a lot. We're not in communication, but this is what I have in front of me. So I'm going to accept what's there, and what will happen when you move forward. That's when you see progress. But until you don't remove that mask, you're not going to be able to progress forward. And that's the same with Miss Kai and Courtney. Is we have to move. And I'll be honest, if I'm going to put, and I don't normally do this, Courtney, you have nothing to worry about. Honestly, things will happen for you. With Miss Kate, remember, come out of your masculine energy, focus more on your feminine stuff, drink plenty of water, put your health up front, and Monique, just be okay with whatever your current situation. So I hope that's made sense to you guys, because it doesn't make sense to me. It makes sense to you, not me. So I hope that's helped you. Now, going back to that topic about black magic, especially when it comes from an Islamic perspective, it's because there's no content. Twin flame is a modern day term. Okay, it's a very modern day term, so that you won't find
the theory of twin flames is ancient, but yeah,
exactly. And you have to remember, when you ask God for something, your answers come from God, and people won't see that. Right?
I had a very interesting taxi drive with a Muslim taxi driver, last year, and he said in the Quran it does talk about this. It talks about there are relationships created by Allah, and there's the one relationship where you are basically, once you're both connected and aligned, or whatever he said, you are in a divine union, and it's great. And there's other connections where basically you're not meant to be with them. And then he explained it in a way. Oh, I'm getting a download. He explained, my ears ring on the download.
I'm so glad I don't get that. I'm so glad I don't get that. I'm glad I opted out of that one when we signed this whole contract. I left it unticked. I didn't tick that box for airing in, so it doesn't happen to me. So that's what I didn't tick.
All right, to answer more questions. Do you guys think fear-based thoughts are showing something unhealed, or is it limited beliefs?
Fear-based thoughts and anxiety are fear of the future. Okay, we create our realities. We create what it is. So my twin said this to me, and I'm going to share it. And I hope my twin is listening in the background, because I'm very proud of you, because it's helped me. That when you are overthinking stuff, you live it twice, once in your mind and once in reality. And what my twin was teaching me is that the more you're living it in your mind, you're creating it. So my twin was teaching me that the more you're thinking about it, you're creating that. And I'm like, that's fucking rich coming from you, an overthinker telling another overthinker not to think. But when I look back at the words that my twin said to me, I'm actually quite proud of my twin for sharing stuff like that. So it is more fear-based. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to be something you should heal. If it is like, oh, I'm going to be rejected or abandoned, then yes, there's something you need to work through that. But again, it comes down to emotions. We can be okay with being rejected. Sometimes we don't get rejected because of us. We get rejected because we're not aligned with that person. Doesn't mean you're the bad one. So be very careful with how you think stuff,
There's a question about telepathy, and it's really interesting because I was thinking about that the other day. It was like, how do we know whether the telepathy is real or it's our own illusion? Sometimes you'll have telepathy in dream world, and if it's fearful stuff like, oh, they ran off with someone else and it's not true, then that's your own fears working in play.
Yeah.
And if it's like wishful thinking of like the future and you're married and you have kids, that's something that you're kind of hopeful for. But if the way you'll know it's like the current telepathy is when they show up in their current state and reality, and they talk to you and they communicate and they say stuff. They might say stuff, I love you, I'm committed to you, or whatever it is. That is true telepathy. Yeah. What's your take?
I tell you on telepathy, and I hope my friends in the background, Yorgo, I don't know if you're listening, Yorgo, but I had to literally phone him up this morning. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing to me? And he was just like laughing. And I was like, basically telepathy, you don't have to have a mobile phone to communicate with people. I'll just tell you that right now. Telepathy is so real. Once you are connected to someone in some sort of energy field, and that could be just having a conversation, a handshake, or anything, some sort of interaction, even if it's online, you've connected your energy with that person, okay? You can communicate with anyone. You can't communicate with a celebrity because they don't know who you are, so they're not going to get that message, right? But when you communicate with someone, and I realized this, that one of my clients in the US, she was sleeping, and she's dreaming of me, and I'm awake, and I'm thinking about exactly what she's dreaming of. And when she told me this, I was like, how the hell does that fucking happen? But you can, when you're thinking of someone, that person is likely to dream of you. Or when you're thinking of someone, my auntie's downstairs, my dad's sister. I remember I was driving past her house 4 days in a row, and I kept thinking of her, that, oh, I haven't seen her in a while, haven't seen her in a while. And then on the fourth day, I just said, fuck it, I'm going to her house. I rang the doorbell, she opened the door, and she was like, oh my God, I was just about to phone you. For the last 4 days, I've been thinking about you. I was like, there you go. So we communicate with people telepathically. You don't need a mobile phone. And this is why I say to people, you don't need to constantly check your phone to see if your twin has called you or messaged you. When they send you that message, your soul will vibrate so hard that you've never experienced this before, that your phone will tell you you have to check your phone. So don't sit around looking at your phone. Why has he not called me? Why has she not done this? It will happen. You will know exactly when you're going to get that message. Your soul will literally vibrate like that's literally, you'll feel that vibration in your body. So telepathy is real. You don't have to be a twin flame. You can telepathically communicate with anyone, your family members, your soulmates, everyone you can communicate with. And I've tried this so much in the past. My friend actually always says to me that you're a fucking jinn. He calls me a jinn. He's like, you're a jinn. You're purposely doing this because when I think of you, you sent me a message straight away. And I'm like, I didn't do that.
That's the whole thing about being in alignment and synchronicity as well.
Mm-hmm.
So Nova asks, what's our favorite part of the twin flame journey? Well, she wrote twin flame experience so far. And I was like, favorite part? Okay, so I'm going to be a little bit crude, a little bit honest. So before I met my twin flame, I was single after 6 years. I've been single for 2 years. I was happy. I was sleeping around. And I stopped all of that. So I think the favorite part of the twin flame journey for me, perhaps, is healing all the parts of me where I wasn't being divine or wasn't respecting and valuing myself fully. And another favorite part of the twin flame journey for me is the looking younger. I'm going to be 38 soon, and I think I look younger. And also, I'm looking more and more, I believe anyway, I think I'm looking more and more attractive. And I'm starting to have soul merge with my twin flame's very hot. So I'm starting to look a bit like my twin. So I think that's a good thing.
Blushing,
everything else is shit.
Stop blushing, you're going red.
Everything else is not great, but yeah. What about you?
I'd say every part of this journey has been my favorite part, including the pain, because we wouldn't be where we are today. Let's just say, I always say this to people, you are not where you were yesterday, and you are right where you need to be right now. You may not be where you want to be tomorrow, but you are right where you need to be right now. If it wasn't for my twin, I wouldn't be on TikTok. I wouldn't have helped hundreds. Like, emotionally, and I wouldn't have been here. I wouldn't have even met you. You know, I've met some amazing people, whether it's face to face, like Neelam is one of them. She was one of the people I started coaching, you know, free of charge. I've met her. I went down to where she was living. You know, we've developed a good bond. You know, there's other people who, like yesterday, I was at someone's birthday party. I only met her 3 weeks ago, and I went down to see her, and I was celebrating her birthday with her yesterday. Tara, you see all these people who I've connected, and if it wasn't for my twin, I wouldn't have met all these people. So yes, I've lost many people on this journey, but they've been replaced with quality. You know, I've had more quality people come in. I might not have them within my physical vicinity, but I have them on the phone, you know, so I'm never alone. You know, am I codependent on them? No. But you know what? Sometimes I want to be by myself. This journey has also taught me to be okay by myself, you know. So every part of this journey has been a blessing, and with pain comes gain, you know. So every part of this journey, would we do it again? Would I want to do it again? Hell no. You know, I don't want to do it again. Like, do I want a new twin? No, I don't. You know, I'm happy with where I am. And even if that means, you know what, I have to be alone for the rest of my life, then that's what is written for me. You know, I can't resist it, you know. But we ascend, and, you know, my visions are helping people again. If 10 people say to me, you're demonic or you're doing this, and I'm like, well, that's what you think, you know. That's and their opinion doesn't matter to me. If my one conversation with someone has helped them, I'm proud of that. And you know, I always say to God every morning, I'm grateful that you chose me to help someone, because you saw my worth. Humans may not see our worth, but you saw my worth, and you sent me to this person. And that's what has been good about this journey. So every part of this has been good.
So we try to do a rapid question round, because I'm probably going to have to leave in a few minutes because I've got lots of content to film and things to do. Okay. So Katriniev asks, she gets body spasms when she meditates. Is that a blockage leaving? In my perspective, it's Kundalini being awakened and the blockages being released from your chakras on those parts. Yeah, okay. Huge throat chakra blocking during dark night, put me in hospital. Frustrating getting rid of the energy. Okay, so Jana asks about Satori. So Satori is instant awakening of the DM, and you can learn more about it on my Twin Flame course, which is out next week, hopefully, on my website. My Kundalini I got activated during the act. Same crazy experience. Yes. Is Yaya a DM?
Yeah, I answered that already. I said I was a divine feminine.
Okay. Yeah, and did you ever think that you would that's what you were? Like, I never even thought.
No, as a man. Do you know what someone said to me at work? And he knows nothing about twin flames, right? What he said to me is, "Bro, don't tell me that you're emotional when you cry. That makes me look at you as less of a man." And no, go fuck yourself. I don't care if you think I'm a man or not. I don't really care. I'm in touch with my emotions. You know, I'm not here to validate your version or perception of me. You know, if I'm emotional, I'm emotional. Because realistically, you take your body away and your soul has no gender. You know, we're both masculine and feminine. You know, our body identifies and defines what our gender is. I'm a Scorpio, but realistically, I'm not here to because there's millions of versions of us. Every single person we walk past, every single person we walk past, whether we know them or not, has created a version for us. Imagine if we had to validate everyone's version. Who am I? And this is when I was before my dark night. I said to my mum, I don't even know who I am, let alone to be your son. You know, how am I meant to be your son if I don't know who I am myself? You know, so we gang.
Almost like roles or actors, acting roles.
Exactly. I just want to be myself. You know, I want to be myself, and that's what's made me happy. We can have multiple dark nights, yes. I'll let Manny ask the questions because he's written them down. So
I haven't written them down. I'm reading them through the syllable.
Wow.
Okay, can Kundalini awaken after union? Yes, it can. How do you feel the upgrades? He answered that one. I heard they are going back to source, spirit, God. That's the DMs. Okay, some of the DMs, not everyone's not on the same, but a lot of them are. Yes, being broken down. Are there any other questions? Yeah, I want to. Someone's asked this: the snail pace. Why is it like some people say the DMs immediately reflect you, right? So if you heal, they heal. But some people say there's a time delay because of the 3D. You said 6 months earlier. Can you explain?
It's not always that we mirror each other. Mirroring works in two different ways. Mirroring, it doesn't mean if they lift up their right hand, your left hand going up. Mirroring works. It's a two-way mirror. So just because you're healing one part, it doesn't mean they're healing that. Also, when you're arguing toxic arguments, just because they're saying it's a reflection of you, but also them. So it's, I think I'm kind of, sorry, I got distracted. What was the question again? Fuck you know.
Why they have a delay for?
Oh, delay. Okay, so I tell you what it is. The devil energy, which most masculines inherit, is the devil energy. The devil likes to be procrastinating all the time. So my granddad used to always say to me, don't rush things. But also the devil always makes you don't want to, because you know why? You're basically making the devil redundant, and the devil doesn't want you to be in that place. It's like saying, right, I'm going to possess you, but if you don't work on yourself, there's no purpose of me in your life. So the devil keeps you in that place of not wanting to move forward. So, and I said this to someone I was talking to recently, that my energy is so light for you that your devilish energy doesn't like it. But when you're in my presence, you're actually in the right energy because I'm full of light. But your devil doesn't like me, because if I start working on you, the devil has to go and the devil has to look for somebody else. And that's why it delays the masculine to do the work. But realistically, it's, let's say, the devilish energy, the ego that keeps that person, because that person feels they're not good enough for you, you know? So it's, again, I just heard my twin say, slow and steady wins the race. That's because they're very much at procrastination, and the feminine comes from a place of love. So that comes from more, God energy. Whereas the masculine comes from the devil energy, you know, and the person I just mentioned has come in and hit like to say, oh, I agree with you right now. So that's an interesting one. But yeah, that's
I've
what
got two questions. Can you still think about the DM when surrendered? Yes, because it's always in your mind, but you are in realization that you're in union. Second question is DMs ascend really fast. What's your take on this? My take is this. The DF is working on the inner work, right? And the DM is working on the outer work. And then once you basically flip polarity, so once you start doing your outer work and become more in your divine masculine energy, balance with yours, they have to go within. That's when they're all quiet right now and like in hermit mode. Because you've done a lot of the inner work already, it's very easy for them to ascend faster because you work as one system. When you go in the outer world, when you start getting your new jobs and your new monies, it's quick for you, right? And why is it quick? Because the DM's been working in that field. So you kind of like take on, one does the other, then you flip. So it gets quicker and you do it faster. What's your take?
So I 100% agree. I always look at it like a washing machine. This is the ringer. Feminine goes in first, and then the masculine goes in and she's out, and then it goes in and it starts rocking, and then you balance out each other. So the feminine can use logic. The masculine comes in and makes the feminine read between the lines, and what the feminine does is teaches the masculine to write on the lines. So when we are new on this journey, we have to read between the lines. You know, they're like, I've just had something. You're the energy reader. You read the energy. No, I'm an energy reader. I know exactly what you're saying, but you need to tell me straight up, right? What are your intentions? But if I then do it as energy read, the masculine will turn around and say, well, hang on, I didn't say that to you. You made that up yourself. Yeah, because now you're fucking lying. So the masculine will teach us something, right? And we equally teach back, but the masculine does do the logical work, but he doesn't know how to use his logic, which is why when you come into union, the masculine is not fully healed, and the feminine will then teach him how to be more logical in the correct way. And this is why unions are not straightforward, because they come back unhealed, and the feminine has done the healing work, and she's been through all of that, and she now teaches him that this is how it is. There's your classroom, go and learn your lesson. I'm not coming in the room with you. Whereas before, you walk hand in hand into the classroom. And I said this to someone else as well. You can show people the classroom, but you cannot take their lessons. So yes, it happens. The feminine goes through it first. She does it all. She goes through the whole car wash and everything. She comes out, time to be dry. And then she tells the masculine, now's your turn. You go in and I will be here when you come back. You don't take them in with you.
Amen.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to have to go.
No worries.
But Kitty kind of said that, you know, when she was doing her inner work, he was really doing the physical. And my one was too. My one was trying to do all the craziness, but in a distorted way. And then now it switches because we're in our masculine. But it's been great chatting to you. I know you like to be on lives for a long time, don't you? You stay on there.
I'm going to download it and pop it on YouTube for a thing. It's 444 on the clock. So whoever's stressing out, chill the fuck out. That's what it means, 444. But I'm going to have to love you and leave you guys as well. Thank you. We've got 50 people in the room right now. Thank you all for joining. And thank you for Manny's followers who are now following me as well. And I hope my followers are following Manny too. We both are unique in our own ways. Thank you, Manny, for giving me the opportunity. And I will be on a bit later. But yeah, thank you. Thank you. I hope you all have an amazing day.
And have a great Sunday.
Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.